Yeah, I always thought like AMC and FX and HBO always had like the best TV shows. Like those were like the best quality of shows. But over the past few years, Netflix has almost been like outstaging all of them but like HBO. HBO I still think is like one of the best because it has Game of Thrones and stuff. That's always a plus in my books. But yeah, Netflix has just been making like quality movies, but especially TV shows. Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list. Welcome to my top 10 favorite Netflix TV shows. Now let me get this right up there, let me get this straight. When I say my top 10 favorite Netflix shows, I mean Netflix shows. Netflix original series is how they call it and stuff. It has to be an actual Netflix show, not a show on Netflix like a Friends or a Sherlock or stuff. You know, those are BBC and stuff, and actual Netflix. Like, it can even count, like, if it's a show like Riverdale, it's a CW show, but Netflix has it too. That's fine. Like, it has to be an actual Netflix TV show. So, it doesn't count if it's a show on Netflix. It has to be an actual Netflix TV show. So, now that we got that straight, let's get to it. Again, like I said, I love Netflix. I've been loving Netflix for such a long time now, and there's a lot of great shows out there, and it was actually very difficult to make a top 10 favorite of my favorite Netflix TV shows, but I managed to do it, and let's get to it. Here's my top 10 personal, I cannot stress that enough, my personal favorite Netflix TV shows. Alright, let's get to it. And for top 10 list, you gotta have your honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are House of Cards, A Series of Unfortunate Events, Narcos, The Defenders, Luke Cage, One Day at a Time, The Get Down, Castlevania, Ozark, Wet Hot American Summer, and Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. All fantastic shows. I love them all. Just couldn't make the top 10 list. But what did make my top 10 was my number 10. My number 10 is The Crown. The Crown. My God. This is such a delightful show and a very educational show. I didn't know, like, I knew quite a bit about Queen Elizabeth, but I didn't know to this extent, and it's so damn good. I think if you, like, love the movie, like, The Queen or The King's Speech, I think you'll love this show. It's a really damn good show, and it's a great story about Queen Elizabeth, and I can't wait for season 2. Claire Foy did an amazing job playing the role of Queen Elizabeth. I love John Lithgow. Amazing John Lithgow as Winston Churchill. He is so great. Everyone's fantastic in this movie. Jared Harris is in this movie as King George V. He is so damn good. Everyone is amazing. Everyone gives great performances. It shows the realism of the time, the production, the cinematography is also incredibly good in this show. The direction's great, the execution's great. I love these characters and all the situations they're going through. I love the stuff with her sister and her husband and stuff, and it really shows you the realism of politics and being in royalty and stuff. How basically being a royal queen takes up your entire life. You can't have a personal life. Your life is your country and your people, and it's a damn good show, and if you haven't checked it out yet, check it out. It's really good. Coming number 9 is Black Mirror. Black Mirror is a show I cannot spoil for you. Like, you just see it. This is the Twilight Zone for modern ages, except it's a little more violent and a little more vulgar than Twilight Zone, but it's almost like Twilight Zone for like a more modernization of Twilight Zone. Every story is a different story, and it's all about different things. Some are set in the future, way in the future, in the past, the present. Some are comedies, some are romances, some are almost like fucking horror. And it's like really edgy, it's really thrilling. It all builds to something that is a very meaningful message, or just a flat out blunt and brutal message, and just, yeah, it's a damn good show. Like, every episode has different characters, different stories, different situations and stuff, and I can't spoil any of the stories because that ruins the magic of Black Mirror. You have to go into the show and just watch it. You can't go into any episodes knowing anything about them, because that's what ruins the spark of the show, ruins the intrigue and the thrills of the show. So yeah, if you haven't seen this show yet, check it out. It's fantastic. My personal favorite episode is actually the second episode ever. That actually has Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out. I love it. That's like my favorite, just a personal, that's my favorite episode. I love it. It's just, what a great message, and it shows you the realism of society and stuff, and how a future could possibly look for us, and it's a very bleak episode, but it's just a brilliant and well-directed episode. Yeah, that's my favorite episode. And the show itself, fantastic. Coming number 8 is a show that I feel like I'm the only one that loves, apparently, but yeah, that's the show Love. Yeah, Love. I really love the show Love. I think this is a damn good show. Some people really don't like it. That's fine. It's just a personal opinion. I think it's a damn good show. It's a really good romantic comedy, and it's a very realistic romantic comedy set in Los Angeles and stuff, and it stars Jillian Jacobs from Community, and it's really good. I love the story of this relationship. One of them is a writer or slash tutor of a TV show and stuff, and this girl who is a drug addict, a sex addict, and an alcoholic. And it's a really good relationship. It's a very interesting relationship. Some people might think it's a toxic relationship, but this character, he's like this dweeby guy, and he's trying to better this girl and better her as a character and as a person and stuff. And the relationship is very realistic, and the two leads have genuine chemistry. And the show itself is just really real, really deep, and it's actually really, really funny. It's created by Judd Apatow, and this is the funny Judd Apatow. This is 40 Judd Apatow. This is actually a very funny show, and it actually is very enjoyable, and I can't wait for season 3 because I really enjoy this show. It's a really funny, very delightful romantic comedy, and I may be in the minority by liking this show, but honestly, I really enjoy it. Coming number 7 is something I'm going to talk about in a second. Yeah, I've always kept this to myself. This is something I have never admitted to a lot of people. I've been a fan of this show for a long time. I don't always like to talk about it because it just doesn't come up, but I'll admit it right now. I am a Gilmore Girls fan. Yes, I'll admit it. I fucking love the show. I think it's a damn good show. It's funny. It's dramatic. It's deep. I love the characters. I love Rory. I love Lorelai. I love Luke. I love everyone. Emily, Richard. I love all the characters. They're just so enjoyable characters. I think it's just a very well-written show, and it's just really good. It's really snappy and stuff, and I love Gilmore Girls. I've been a fan of the show for a long time. Melissa McCarthy's on the show. She's great. And yeah, I think the show's great. And yeah, so that's why at number 7, the mini-series Gilmore Girls, A Year in the Life is one of my favorites. I fucking love this mini-series. It's only 4 episodes, and it's literally a year in the life of Rory and Lorelai, years and years after Gilmore Girls ended, because Gilmore Girls ended like 10 years ago. And yeah, I was sad about that because I love that show. And yeah, I wanted to see what their lives were like after all this time and stuff. What happened to Luke? Is he still with Lorelai? What happened to Rory? She's still writing and stuff. And yeah, this show dives into details for a whole year. We get to see what their lives are like and stuff throughout each season, winter, summer, autumn, spring and stuff. And it's really good. It's really sad, actually, because, spoilers, you find out that their father, Richard, has died and stuff. Emily's going through a lot of tragic things and stuff. She takes in this family, and it's great. They go into more details with Luke and Lorelai. They're trying to get married and stuff. Lorelai goes on a wild mission, and just, yeah, like the movie Wild. And yeah, Rory gets a job at Stars Hollow as like their reporter chick and stuff. And yeah, it's really good. You get to see what happened with Logan. You even get to see a little bit with Dean and Jess and stuff. It's just really good. I loved this miniseries. I've watched it twice already. It's funny, it's enjoyable, it's endearing, and I love these characters, and I love spending time with these characters, and yeah, it's my favorite. Coming number 6 is Voltron. Yes, Voltron, the defender of the universe. I love Voltron. Voltron's so good. I grew up actually with the cartoon Voltron, even though that's way beyond my years. But again, I watched it on reruns on television and stuff. I watched a lot of old cartoon shows. Again, that's way before my time, but I watched it on like rerun television shows and stuff, and it's kind of like retro TV and stuff. I watched like Voltron and stuff, and Flintstones, the Jetsons and stuff, and a lot of really old school shows, and I loved Voltron. Voltron was just such a cool and badass show in my opinion, and I love that they remade it into a Netflix cartoon series, and it's so great. It's created by the people who did Legend of Korra and Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it really shows with its animation design, its snappy humor, its action sequences. It's just an amazing show. I fucking love Voltron. It's just so great. The animation's great, the action's great, the story's great. I love the villain. I love these characters. Lance and Keith are my favorite characters. That's the blue lion and the red lion. Stephen Young actually does the voice of Keith, and yeah, I love it. I love these characters. It's so likable, it's so enjoyable, and yeah, it's on its 3rd season now. I'm waiting for season 4, and yeah, I absolutely love the show. It's one of my favorite shows on Netflix. Coming number 5 is a very controversial pick, like the show Love. Maybe some people will really disagree with me, but again, it's my list. It's my list. I really love this show. It's probably going to go down as one of my favorite shows of this year. It really, really hit me, really emotionally, and just, I found it really raw, really, and very realistic and stuff, and I absolutely loved it. And that's the show 13 Reasons Why. 13 Reasons Why. Again, people are saying this is like promoting suicide and stuff. It's glorifying it. I strongly disagree. Watch the last episode. That is not glorifying suicide. Trust me. I think this is a fantastic show. I hate that they're making a season 2. This is a show just for one season. I don't like that they're making a season 2, but this season alone was a fantastic show about this girl who took her life, and she made these tapes for all these people of why she committed suicide and why a lot of these people were the cause of her suicide. And it's about this main kid played by Dylan Minnette, and he always had strong feelings for her, and he always wanted to save her and stuff. He's reading all these tapes, finding about all these fellow students and what all the bad things they have done, and it's very brutal, it's really raw, it's really realistic, shows you the realism of high school. Well, some high schools. My high school was sort of like that, actually, but not fully like that, and I loved this show. It had very interesting characters. It was very raw. It's very bleak. It's very realistic. It's a little hard to watch at times because there's like scenes with rape and, of course, suicide and stuff, and it's a very intense show, but I absolutely loved it. It really hit me emotionally, and I absolutely was impacted by this show, and yeah, I loved it. It's one of my favorites. Coming number 4 is Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is probably one of my favorite Marvel shows out there. It is just so good. Kristen Ritter is amazing in this show. Like, I always compare, she is Veronica Mars meets Elizabeth Sonder, and that's exactly what she is. She is just so great. She's so sassy. She's a very vulnerable character, but she's also a very tough character. She learns through her vulnerability of all the stuff she's went through with Killcrave and stuff. Killcrave, my God, David Tennant is amazing in this show. I love this show. I love that it's an investigation show. It's about this PI investigating this girl. She killed her parents, but she was controlled by Killcrave, and she has to prove it and stuff, and I love it. This also introduces us to Mike Coulter as Luke Cage, which was amazing. I loved it. Carrie Ann Moss is in this show, and she's an all-around great show. It's a very dark show. It's a very thrilling show. Kristen Ritter is absolutely amazing. I also love, of course, David Tennant, Carrie Ann Moss, and Rachel Taylor. They're all really good. I love the characters. I love the story. It's just an all-around amazing show. Coming number 3 is Daredevil. Yes, Daredevil is so fucking good. Daredevil is amazing. This is my favorite Marvel show as of now. It's so great. Charlie Cox never thought the kid from Stardust would be a good Daredevil / Matt Murdock, and he proved me wrong. It's so great. What Drew Goddard did with the show was so great. Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin is amazing. The Punisher, played by John Bernthal in Season 2, was fantastic. Everything about this show is amazing. The action's amazing. The tracking shots, the direction, the execution. I've talked on and on about Daredevil, so everyone knows that I love this show. It's amazing. Coming number 2 is a tie between 2 amazing comedic shows on Netflix. They're both fantastic shows. They're both hilarious. They're both smart and very clever. They both talk really details about society. Both talk about race, but one show is actually about race. One's just about this comedian / actor who wants to be a chef, then becomes a TV chef, to host chef, and yeah, everyone knows what shows I'm talking about. I'm talking about Master of None and Dear White People. These are really good shows, and shows I highly recommend. They may not be for everybody, but I think they're fantastic. What Aziz Ansari did with Master of None, it was just so brilliant and so clever. I love the characters, I love the story. It's just a great, realistic, comedic show, and I love it. Dear White People is another fantastic show about racism at this university, because these white kids basically had this blackface party, and yeah, it's pretty rough. And yeah, this black girl has a show called Dear White People, and she's talking about society and how these white people are not treating these black people with equality, with equal rights at this school. And it's a very good show. It's a very realistic show. It's a very well-written show. It's a very smart show with great, intriguing characters. The performances by all these young actors are fantastic. Barry Jenkins, the director of Moonlight, directed a lot of episodes. And yeah, it was a really good show that really, really hit me. And yeah, Master of None and Dear White People, I just couldn't decide what one I liked more, so I just put them both at number 2. Both amazing shows. And my number 1 favorite Netflix TV show is Stranger Things. Stranger Things, oh my, I've watched this show a total of 3 times. I absolutely love it. I fucking love this show. It's so freaking good. I love these characters. I love Hopper. I love Winona Ryder's character. I love Eleven. Everyone, I love these characters. Dustin's great. I fucking love him. He's so great. I love these kid characters. These kid actors do an amazing job, especially the girl who played Eleven. She's amazing. Winona Ryder's fantastic. David Harbour's fantastic. He's probably like my favorite character in the show. I love his character. This show is basically like John Carpenter's The Thing meets E.T. It's a throwback to 80s movies in a television show, and I fucking love it. The soundtrack, the score, the feel, the atmosphere, the cinematography, the opening scene, the opening credits is just absolutely amazing. What the Duffer Brothers did with the show was so incredible. I loved everything about it. I loved the characters, the comedy, the story, the pacing, how it's structuralized. It's just all around fantastic. It's actually, I got a lot of similarities to also like Super 8. So it's like Super 8 meets The Thing meets E.T. Just such an incredible show. I can't wait for Stranger Things 2. That trailer really got me pumped up. But yeah, till then, Stranger Things Season 1, my favorite Netflix show so far. So yeah, that was my top 10 personal favorite Netflix original series or Netflix shows, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me, did you agree with this top 10 list? If not, what are your top 10 favorite Netflix shows in your opinion? Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.